seen my hands in the other channel, because you need hands to cook, and you only have seen this part of me that is real. This channel is going to be about stuff that happens in real life, and stuff that we don't really talk about but we should. And this is the channel where I'm going to show the real me, who I am, what I go through every single day, what makes me happy, what doesn't. And the main thing that we are going to talk about here is mental health. Okay, so first thing first, I'm gonna clear out one thing. I'm not a psychologist or I'm not a psychiatrist. I am just a survivor, or let's just say I kind of have my own issues, and I have been observing other people. I have some friends like that, and I just wanna kind of talk about this subject which people don't really talk about, and also just kind of show that how a teenager, I'm not a teenager anymore, that's a fact. I'm not a teenager, I'm 22, so I'm not a teenager, but how a young person in India, well, if you were wondering, I am Indian. I look like an Indian too, right? I am an Indian. So I'm just gonna show that how a young Indian woman or man, basically like youth, goes through everyday life, and what kind of struggles they go through, and specifically focus on mental health issues and struggles. So if you're wondering what I'm looking at 1,000 times, it's you can't see it, it's like a note I have made, because this is my first time, so I thought like if I didn't make a note, I would be talking about like things and just like go to a different I want to talk about just forget what I mental health issues and problems that people go through, and just not really like hide anything, just like be myself and like show people that it's okay to not be okay. Now, so the purpose of this channel I want to talk about. The purpose of this channel is that I want to support people, to give my sympathy, my condolence, and kind of help people who are going through any kind of mental health issues and they are struggling, and like they don't know how to embrace it, or like they're scared, or they're embarrassed, or they're kind of in denial, or they are basically just kind of outcasted from like everywhere. And I just kind of want to tell them that it's not bad to have any kind of mental health issues, or it's not really embarrassing thing, and it's normal, it's fine, it's okay. You just have to embrace it. And just kind of show that how you can go through this every single day, and how I go through it every single day. It may not be suitable for your issues, or just kind of help in understanding what you're feeling, and kind of help me and help the others who are new in this to kind of understand what is going on, and like how you can feel better and like go on with your life. So now let's just talk about basic mental health issues, which are basic like like anxiety, stress disorder, panic, depression. There are so many things. Maybe we can talk about this in detail in a different video. Right now I kind of want to just talk about the fact that how tabooed it is in India, and not only in India, not only in any developing countries, in countries where people are very, educated and like, sophisticated, and they know so many things, mental health is still like every single where. It's such a big thing. People kind of like tries to hide and like not embrace it, and they feel like they are outcast, they are not like normal. It's not like that. If you have mental health issues, that's okay to have that. You have to understand it, you have to understand how you can go through it and just live a normal life even though you have issues. We always talk about how to um, increase your immunity, how to increase your physical health. We talk about yoga, we talk about running, we talk about dieting, we talk about, sleeping for 8 hours and like what not. Like take this supplement, do that, do what, and just be physically healthy. And that's very important. That's very very important. You have to be physically fit, but nobody talks about mental health because maybe even like people who can talk about influencers and all in YouTube, yes, there's a lot of people who talk about their mental health issues and they try to help people, and I appreciate that really well. I appreciate that a lot. Okay. I appreciate that a lot, that so many influencers are, like embracing their mental health issues in here, and other people also feel like kind of at ease that yeah, they feel it, so we can feel it too. It's fine. Now, nobody talks about mental health, but it is a thing. Like people think like, oh, she has mental health issues. That means she has mental health issues. That means she should go to an asylum, and like people will like chain you and like give you like shock treatments and all. That's what we have seen in like TVs and like like any kind of like movies and all. That's not true. That's not at all true. Yes, there are people, at some point, if you go to that point, you do have to go to asylum, you do have to go through that. But like in usual life, people have very basic mental health issues, and they just feel like they're scared to like talk about it to somebody because they feel like nobody will understand them, or nobody will support them. They feel like if they say it to them, they are going to be avoided, or people will get scared of them and they would probably have to go to an asylum. It's not true. It's not true. You just have to kind of embrace it at some point. Okay, I'm getting too excited at this point. People think that it's a bad thing to have mental health issues. First of all, let me clear that fact. It's not bad to have mental health issues. You are not bad. You are a good person. It's just that you are a little bit more emotional, a little bit more sensitive about things that others are not. And you feel differently, your thought process is different, and that's why you feel differently. It's not a bad thing. Maybe you're just a little bit more sensitive or emotional than other people. That's not a bad thing. There's always a thing that you are good in studies, you get good marks. People say like, oh, like she's so good or he's so good in studies, like he gets rankings, good rankings, and like people appreciate you. But when you're a little bit more emotional or sensitive and you react different ways, people say that, oh, it's not it's not just she's a little bit too emotional, she's too sensitive, it's just not like just they kind of start to avoid you. And that's the main scare everybody has, that people will like leave them and they will be lonely. Well, the first things first, if somebody makes you lonely, they avoid you after knowing that you have some issues, then they are not supposed to be there with you. They are not going to be there with you even when you don't have the issue. They would leave you at some point. They were just waiting to leave you. So like you shouldn't be feeling bad that, oh, I have this issue, that's why they left me. They would have left you anyways. If they are going to stay, they are going to stay after knowing that you have issues. And anything, they will stay. Even if you have some issues, some big issues, they will stay. If they don't stay, they are not there to stay. So just poop that, don't think about that. Now, first of all, you need to understand that this is a normal thing. You will go through it. Some people go through it when they go through adolescent or puberty, and then that just kind of goes away. And that's the thing. If it doesn't go away, talk to somebody. That's the first thing. Talk to somebody, like your friends, maybe your relatives, your parents, your they can be best friends. If you are in a relationship, talk to your girlfriend or boyfriend, just people you trust and like you feel like they will understand you. Just talk to them and share what you're feeling, even if it feels like it's literally of no meaning or it doesn't mean anything. Just talk, and of course like share your feelings with other people, because if you don't, at some point you are like, okay, I'm just gonna keep it inside of me and it's okay, it's fine, I'm just gonna go through it, it's a phase, it's gonna go away. Or you're scared to tell them. What's gonna happen is it's gonna keep bottling up in you, and that's the worst thing you can do. It's gonna keep increasing the burden, and at some point you will explode. And that's when you wouldn't have any other way, or you have to take medicines, or you have to take therapy sessions. Physical health, you can like prevent getting sick, but mental health, you can't really prevent it. It depends on your personality, it depends on your atmosphere, depends on who you are with, what you are doing. Like it just depends on everything. It depends on everything and anything. Like you can't really like prevent yourself from getting mentally like ill. Like ill is not a good word. Like you can't protect yourself from feeling something that you are supposed to feel. Physically you can prevent getting sick and all, but this thing you can't really prevent. And you have to understand that it's not that it's your fault that you felt it, or it's not your fault that you're feeling alone or lonely, you're feeling depressed. It's not bad that you're feeling that you feel different than other people. It's not wrong. They don't feel it, it's a good thing. You feel it, that's not also a bad thing. You just have to kind of go through it and embrace it. That's it. Now you have to first of all reach out to other people and tell them what you're feeling. And at this point, if you're watching this video and you feel like, oh, I do feel a little bit different, I get stressed out really easily, I get emotional really easily, little things hurt me really quickly, I feel lonely sometimes, I feel like crying sometimes. These are like very basic symptoms that something is wrong. And you can sit down and think about what's happening in your life. You can think about that, if okay, this is the reason, that's why I'm feeling, it's just gonna go away, it's fine, then it's okay, you can be fine, it's okay. But if you think that no, there's not really much reason, it's happening for something, it's not really going away, I have been feeling that for a long time, you should definitely reach out to other people. If they don't help you, try to find some professional help, and just seek help. Just seek help. That's very important. Now I'm just been talking about this. Now let me talk about a little bit about my point of view or my struggles a little bit. I'm not going to be going in details right now. I would be going in details maybe in future videos, but right now I kind of want to just address that, that what I show outside. The people who know me, maybe they are going to be watching this video. A lot of people will watch it not knowing who I am, but people who know who I am, they may think that I'm such a happy person, like I'm very smiley all the time, very happy. That is who I am, but not all the time. You can't be happy all the time. That's not it. Like even like people who don't have any issues can't be happy all the time. And like what we show outside is not really what we are most, the way we show ourselves outside is the way we want to feel or we want others to see us. That is the thing. It's not really that how we are, not all the time. If you smile, if you laugh all the time outside, you're making jokes with people are like, oh, she's so fun, she's so happy, I wish I could be that happy. Sometimes the people who smile a lot, who make jokes a lot, are the people who are suffering the most. Now, I'm making this video definitely to say that yes, I also have mental health issues. And there was a point of time where I felt really scared to talk about it and like really just, just like, I don't know, I just felt like the same thing I said in the beginning of the video, that seeking help or talking to somebody would be like a waste of my time, nobody will understand. But that was the worst thing I did in the beginning, feeling that nobody will understand, whereas there were people around me who did understood me when I had to. But the thing is that I bottled up things for so long and I kept pushing it. Okay, I'll tell them tomorrow, I'll tell them the next day. And it went on for years and years, and then it went to a point where I just couldn't have control in my own emotions and it just exploded. And then, all the things, like all those jazz, like, going to therapy and all those things happened. And really, if I seeked for help before, or I talked about what I was feeling from the beginning, this wouldn't have happened. And because it's like a loop. A lot of people know about like diabetes, right? Diabetes and like heart issues. When you get them at a point, like you suddenly like get them, then it just never goes away. Like, people know more about diabetes, right? So I'm just gonna use the diabetes term. When you have diabetes, you have it suddenly, it never goes away. It just kind of, sometimes your blood sugar is high, sometimes it's low, sometimes it's normal, but it's there all the time. You don't know, suddenly it can increase, suddenly it can decrease. You don't know, it just stays. Like, it's a never ending thing, it just goes away. It just goes on and on and on. Similar with mental health issues. In the beginning, if you understand what you're feeling, you seek help, you talk to people, it does go away. There's a chance that it will go away, or you would learn how to handle it. But if you don't, you bottle up things, you kind of like just keep it inside of you, just feeling insecure and embarrassed. What happens is that when the time comes that when you're feeling like you have to talk to somebody, you can't. At that point, you're like, you're so used to keeping it in, you can't just say it to anybody, and then it just like, then time runs out, and like at some point it just like, there's no way. At some point it goes to a certain point where you can't really express what you're feeling, and it's at some point where you like can't even go back. Like, you can't go back like 5 years and they're like, oh, I'm gonna start fresh. You can't just go back 5 years. You don't have that power that you're gonna go back 5 years back and like, yeah, start over. Like, I'm gonna just like start talking to people so that I don't get to it. You can't go back 5 years. You can't go back 10 years when it started. You understand it now that, oh, I should have done it. The people that are watching this video who are feeling like, maybe there's something wrong, just talk to anybody. If you can't talk to your friends or parents or strangers, or if you can't talk to your friends, your parents, your cousins, just under this video, I'm not gonna disable the comments. You can talk to me, I can talk to you, it's fine. I can support you. There are a lot of people, millions and millions of people in this world that are going through this. They can support you. Don't feel alone. Don't like isolate yourself from anybody. Just write down in the comments like what you're feeling. I would love to talk to you about this. It's okay. If you want, I can talk about my mental health struggles more in another video. If you want, I would be very happy to talk about my mental health struggles. If you want to know about it more, how I got to know it, how did I get it, what I have, and like, how do I go through it, the struggles and everything, I would be happy to talk about it. You can put it in the comments that if you want to put it in the comments that if you want to know anything about this, and if you want to know anything about me, it's okay, I'm gonna talk about it, it's totally fine. Now, why I made this channel. This channel is made just to kind of show myself what I am, and how I am, and not being scared of showing what I am or what I feel, because I don't feel embarrassed that I have some issues that millions of other people have. They just hide it. It's not really such a big thing. If you have a fever, if you have like a stomach bug, you can like go and tell people like, oh, I had a fever, and they're like, oh, I had a fever too. You can take this medicine, it's fine. It's a normalized thing, but nobody talks about like, oh, I had anxiety, I had depression, and other people like, oh, I had that too, you should go to that therapist. It's not that easy, and I kind of want to normalize this thing. I don't know, I can't do it by myself, so I want other people's support, of course. And I just kind of want to normalize these things. Like, people should be able to talk about this, people should be able to, like, relate to this and not get scared. So the main purpose of this channel, like why I made it, because I know there's so many people, not only Indian, there's like Western people, like other people who are going through things, but they don't have anybody to like share their problems, or they don't even know what they're going through, or if they're actually going through anything and how to help themselves. They feel helpless, and I had a time where I felt helpless and I had nobody. I had no, like, I didn't knew that there are people that can help me, and I felt just like, I don't know, I felt like I had nowhere to go. And I want to make a place, just a community. I don't care about how much money I get. I am not making this channel to get money. I just want to like show that how I feel, and if you feel that, that's not wrong. And I just want to give you a place of support and like, comfort, that you can come here and talk about your issues, okay? It's not a place where I'm just trying to like gain money or gain popularity by talking about my issues. I'm not faking anything. I'm not trying to prove anything. I'm just trying to say that this is a